Have you tried many diets only to end up self-sabotaging your progress? If yes, then stick around because in this video, I'm going to tell you why you do it and how you can stop this problem. Welcome back to my channel. I am Juliana and together we will change the conversation about weight loss for women over 40. To get it started, I'm gonna jump right in. And the first main reason that most people self-sabotage is actually fairly simple. And that is there is a disconnect between two important parts here. The first part is your actual goals, the tactics, the thing that you want to achieve in your weight loss goal. So let's just say, for the sake of an example, cooking healthy meals, okay? So that is the goal, the tactics. Now, there is a disconnect between it and what I like to call your real inner priorities. Now, what are your inner priorities? These are your a predetermined set of things that you were born to do. You love them. It just brings you joy. It's easy for you. If you could think about something that you love to do, just take a second to imagine that. That's what an inner priority is. Something that you would get out of bed and excited to do. So let's just say if you have children, like a young boy loves his video games. Nobody has to remind him to go play. He possibly even forgets to eat and doesn't get tired, and he's always seeking more and more challenges. As he beats one game, he wants the more difficult next one, right? So that in this example is this young boy's inner priority. So when you look at yourself and your inner priorities, so let's just say, again, for the sake of an example, that your inner priority is your family and spending time with your family, going out and doing family activities. But here is the cooking that you perceive will take 1-2 hours every day, will take you away from your family. In this example, let's just assume you don't even like cooking, right? So if that holds the secret for you to keep to your goals, because it is disconnected from the priorities, the things that are most important to you, as soon as, the initial honeymoon phase of a diet ends, you're not going to be able to sustain it. And then it's one of the reasons why we self-sabotage, because of the initial disconnect. Now, the second reason I would say is one of the most important ones, and that is the actual emotional baggage behind the scenes that for so many women, it goes unnoticed because you just don't know about it. So I'm here to tell you about it. So basically, your brain is designed to protect you. It is designed to keep you safe. And right now, where you are with the weight that you currently have, this is what your brain perceives as this is my safe space. This is my safe zone. This is what I know. Now here in the promised land is the lower weight is what you are looking to get to, okay? So in this aspect here is unsafe, it's risky, it's unknown. So your body's going to do everything possible to keep you safe because your mind is designed to do so. And that is not a bad thing. That is just how we're wired, okay? So let's look at some scenarios of what your brain could actually be perceiving. Why does it feel unsafe? So let's just say in the context of a career. Let's just say that you have this job that you really dislike and you're very unfulfilled, but you just go in, day out, and it's boring and it's not fulfilling, but it pays the bills. So staying in the current size that you are actually helps you because by playing small and by lacking confidence, it's actually preventing you from having to face that you're not tapping into your potential, that you actually are playing small and you're meant for so much more and so many bigger things on the other side of confidence. Let's just say a different example, that you are in a relationship and you're truly unfulfilled. And you know that it is easier and safer to stay where you are, keep eating the donuts and just keep putting on the pounds so you don't have to go out on date again. You don't have to put yourself out in the comfort zone or even go to the difficult process of ending a relationship, right? So a lot of times we get ourselves physically stuck because emotionally we want to stay safe. We stay stuck, even if it's on a subconscious level. A different example, let's just say that you are somebody that have had emotional trauma in your past, and just the idea of releasing the weight and having, let's just say, a more attractive figure can actually trigger the fear of unwanted attention. Therefore, it is safer, again, to stay where you are. And the self-sabotage usually happens when we're actually really close and we're making progress. And it's almost like this course correction is like, no, it is not safe there. Stay where you are. Those are just various examples just to give you a perspective. Another very big one that I often see with my clients and in my practice has to do with their families. So let's just say that you've come from a family that a lot of the family members are a specific weight. So let's just say that the whole family is overweight. Just the thought of potentially being the only one to put their health needs first, meaning you're not going to be eating all of the, the sweets and whatever, gluten, high carb foods during holidays or other gatherings. So you potentially could feel, oh my gosh, I'll feel left out. You may actually feel that you're going to stop having things in common, or maybe you're going to feel, oh my gosh, what are they going to say? Are they going to be talking about me? Am I even going to belong with these people that I call my family that I love so much if I become the different one, right? And I've seen this play out so many times as I help clients with that mindset aspect of weight release, because it's one of those things keeping them stuck, and then the self-sabotage patterns continue to happen. So it's usually one of the above, but maybe you have a different reason, and that's fine. But the number one way to end the self-sabotaging patterns is to actually understand what are those limiting beliefs keeping you stuck, keeping you where you are. That is the number one way, because unless you're aware of what's going on, how can you actually solve the problem? And pushing yourself is not the answer. Just doing it and so on, it's just not the answer. And I can prove it to you, it's just not the answer. So how do you go about discovering what are those limiting beliefs before you can actually neutralize them? Well, I done the work for you, so you don't have to. There's a link that I'm going to put in my bio. All you have to do is sign up for this free training that I put together called The Missing Key to Weight Release. And through that training, I go through the various most common limiting beliefs I see on a regular basis in all my years in this field. And then I teach you on this masterclass. It's super value-packed. And I teach you in this masterclass how to neutralize them, because this is the first step you need to take into this beautiful journey of actually understanding what's going on with your emotions and this mindset component, so you can start to neutralize them, so you don't need to use food and drinks to do so. Because what I see when I talk about this, push type of, advice that I see so often out there, if all you do is keep pushing, there's this person telling you, push, right? If you can imagine, usually you think of that like in a gym with a personal trainer. I'm talking more in terms of the mindset component, just do it type of mindset. What happens is that you go from pride, oh my gosh, I'm doing so great, to shame. Oh wow, I am just not doing this, I'm guilty. And so pride over here, guilt and shame over there. And a lot of times we just keep swinging back and forth. And then we use food and drinks to sort of ground us back and neutralize us. And that is just a recipe for self-sabotage. My job is to teach you, okay, we don't want the pride. I'm not going to be the one telling you I'm so proud of you. And I'm also not going to be telling you you're doing this wrong, because those two extremes from a mindset standpoint aren't helpful in any way. My job is to show, okay, these are the limiting beliefs, and this is how I bring them to neutrality, to balance, so you can actually accept your body, accept your choices with gratitude, and then you can actually move on to the next layer, the next level of the process. Now, the most important thing that you need to know, so I'm glad you stuck around to this moment, because this concept, when you grasp it, it will change everything for you. And that is the concept that The excess weight that you currently may be struggling with is performing a job. Okay, I'll say this again. The body fat that a lot of us just zone and just want to get rid of is actually performing a job for you. It's doing something for you, even though it's so hard initially to know what I'm talking about. So let me quickly explain. It is performing a job, meaning that it is keeping you protected. It is back to our second point that I was saying, all the different examples of all the different emotions that is protecting you. The body fat is actually doing just that. It's protecting you. Okay? So if you want it to be gone from a very holistic standpoint, yes, you need the right tactics, the right foods, all of that good stuff. Absolutely. It's part of the picture. However, you need to also understand what is that job that body fat is doing for you. And of course, knowing the limiting beliefs is the first step into getting there. But once you understand what that job is, then you're able to decide whether or not you're willing to take the risk on the emotional side of things, the mindset side of things, or if not. And even just that clarity in terms of what is the job it's performing is a very important step in the releasing process, in the letting go of it. Because then we can work on those mindset blocks that are blocking you so that the weight can be released. And that is just like kind of like the big picture. But like I said, make sure you sign up for this free training, because I go through this very specifically and I go even deeper into how not just the limiting beliefs, but also how we can uncover the job that the excess body fat is performing for you. So I have a question for you as we close today. Out of the different things that I talked about, all the different examples, which one do you relate most with out of like family or relationships or career? Which area in your life do you perceive is the one keeping you most stuck in propagating this self-sabotaging pattern? So just let me know in the comments. And if you have no idea, just share your thoughts in terms of, what you feel that it would be. This is sometimes a process to really get to that answer. But if you know, I would love to hear from you. I'm also going to link to one more video here for you before we go. I have this very special interview that I did on a top secret for motivation, a way to really find the inner motivator so you don't need to keep looking for those external sources. So I'm going to link the video here so you can watch it next. So make sure to subscribe and hit the like button, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.